As I awoke on Thursday morning, the 22nd of September 2016, I never expected for FIFA 17 to be out. As I normally do when I wake up, I went onto YouTube and realised there were people already uploading FIFA 17 and I thought, this is weird. More people went to the capture event than I thought. Then I went onto Twitter and realised that the early release was actually already out for some reason.
Just gonna play some FIFA 17. Oh my god, 40 gigabytes. Well, I suppose there's nothing else to do but wait around, so I don't know what to do. The last 5 minutes was probably the worst 5 minutes of my life, to be honest with you. Waiting around. I just can't deal with it anymore. I think I may as well just go and pick a team for career mode, seeing I haven't got one yet.
I spent the next 10 minutes umming and ahhing over which team I should use for FIFA 17. I knew I wanted a Premier League side, but I just wasn't sure which one. Do I go for a project team like Bournemouth, who I can take from the bottom and try and build them up? Do I use some of the top teams on FIFA, such as Man United, Manchester City, Chelsea, Arsenal, etc, etc? I just didn't know what I wanted to do. But then suddenly,
I got it. I have decided I'm going to be taking my FIFA talents to Leicester City.
The right team was there right in front of me all along. Leicester weren't even a team I'd even considered. They are a team that are kind of in no man's land for a YouTuber. They're not a project team and they're not a top team. It's kind of weird, but I feel like nobody will use Leicester because they won the Premier League last year. And that's exactly why I'm going to use them. I'm going to turn them into a powerhouse.
Yeah, I didn't have time to repair a proper jersey. I kind of decided last minute.
What is something that all the best managers in the world have in common? They have a little whiteboard to write their shit on, write all their tactics, write all that sort of stuff on. Now, I don't have a proper whiteboard. I have this little thing from when I was about, 6, where I could practice writing my name and all that sort of stuff. So, you know what? I thought, let's just repurpose this. Let's just reuse it. Pfft, can you write your name? As if that's a real question. Check that out. Check that bad boy out. Now, obviously, I haven't been able to get onto the career mode as I haven't even finished downloading the game yet. So I don't know exactly what the play is going to be rated in career mode, but I did find online on Foothead what they are rated in Ultimate Team. So I'd assume it'd be pretty much the same at the moment. So I'm going to go through position by position what I think the strongest lineup should be. Now, I'm going to start off with the strikers, as I feel they're our strongest area, our strongest thing. The attack is very, very strong in my opinion. And our two best strikers are Slimani, who's an 83 rated, and Jamie Vardy, who's an 82 rated. Now, they should be able to form a pretty good combination. I think the tall guy and then have the short little poacher sort of guy in Jamie Vardy. At least that's the way I'm looking at it. Then we add Musa in as well, who can do a little bit of damage. And Okazaki, I don't know exactly how good he's going to be in the game, but he's better than Aloha. And yeah, obviously Aloha, I don't really have a spot for him in the side, so that's why he's not listed. Anybody who's not listed on here is probably going to be sold or loaned or something. Now, the next position I feel we're very, very strong in is the right mid position. Obviously, we have Mahrez. He's our best player in the game ratings-wise, and I'd assume actually in-game he's probably our best player as well. 85 rated. I think that is really, really good. Obviously, our backup, Kaputska or something, I've actually never heard of him. 79 rated. He's not the greatest, and he's actually a left mid. So, I mean, maybe we can get a right mid. I'm not sure exactly, but it's not an area of concern, at least at the moment anyways. The next position that I'm going to be doing is the centre mid position. Now, this actually is a little bit of an area of concern. Obviously, we had Kante there last year. He would have been great to use this year. However, I am kind of looking to bring in someone who's very, very similar to Kante. I don't know if Mendy's going to be similar or not. Just someone who can sort of be that spark in the middle, just sort of get around and do a little bit of everything. Obviously, Mendy is a CDM by default, so obviously he's got the defensive part in check, but we do need someone who can kind of have a little bit of go forward, can kind of help us out a little bit. But yeah, Drinkwater should be able to do the job in the midfield for us. It's more of the depth as well. We don't really have much depth in the centre mid position, so probably going to look to bring in someone else there. Next up is the left mid position. Now, this is something that actually does worry me a little bit. Not majorly, because I feel like there's a lot of good left mids on the game that we can bring in for a pretty decent price. But, I mean, Albrighton doesn't exactly look like he's going to set the world on fire with me. I feel like he's one of those players who probably won't play that well on FIFA. I have used him on previous FIFAs, like in FIFA 13 or something, and he was decent, but it looks like he's lost a fair bit of pace since then. And obviously, we know how important pace is. And, I mean, the backup actually is actually like great. He's very, very pacey. Looks like he has a lot of potential. However, we do need someone now if we're going to be competing in Europe. So left mid is probably another position I'm looking to strengthen immediately. Okay, on to the centre backs. I'm actually fairly happy with the ones that we've got now. Obviously, we've got Morgan, who's the captain, 79 rated, probably going to be pretty decent. And we have Huth, who's 80. Obviously, they're not the best centre backs, and also the depth isn't that bad. We actually do have a few other centre backs that I haven't listed, although, I mean, I can kind of give a take whether I sell them or not. It's not like an immediate concern, the centre back position, although ideally in the future, obviously, we'd like to bring in some stronger centre backs, but depending on the budget that we have at the start, centre back isn't really something that I'm too concerned with. So pretty happy with the two that I've got. Obviously, things could change in game. I know Hoof's very, very slow, so maybe he'll be shit in game, but I'm willing to give him a go. Everything that I just said about the centre back can kind of be applied for the left back as well. Obviously, Fuchs is a pretty decent player, 77 rated. He's not the best, like he's not the fastest or anything, but he is someone who I'm willing to sort of deal with at the moment, and I think he can do a good enough job. And Schlopp is there as well, who's really, really fast as well, and obviously we know how good pace is on FIFA, so he's not a bad backup to have as well. As you probably expect, the right back position isn't the strongest in the side. Obviously, we've got Simpson, who in previous FIFAs has actually been pretty good. I'm not sure what he's going to be like this game. He usually has some pretty decent stats for right back, but at the end of the day, he is still 74 rated, and Chilwell is going to be the backup right back. Well, I suppose I'm not sure exactly who will be the backup right back, him or Schlupp, but either way, they're both left backs, so we don't really have a backup right back. We just have people who can sort of cover over there. 68 rated, not great. It is an area I'm looking to try and improve on, and maybe Simpson can just become the backup, but you know, ideally I'd like to get someone a little bit better than Simpson. Now, the keeper position is actually probably one of the most interesting positions for me. Kind of in a little bit of dilemma here. It's like, do you go for Zila, who's a little bit younger, or do you go for Schmeichel, he's the custodian there? They're both the exact same rating. I suppose I'm going to go with Schmeichel, as you can tell by him being the top one. I'm going to go with him initially, but I'm going to leave it open for Zila to come in. Obviously, he's a very, very good keeper as well. But as we know in FIFA, sometimes like keepers on the game, even though they're rated 81, can be absolutely horrendous. So, I mean, one of them could be significantly worse than the other, depending on a few little stats that don't seem very important, but kind of are. Also, things like traditional save or up against the acrobatic, that sort of stuff can make a difference depending on the FIFAs. But yeah, like I said, Schmeichel will get the first go. However, there's plenty of games to be played considering we've got Champions League and all those other sort of tournaments, FA Cup, that sort of stuff. So there are going to be opportunities given, and if things don't go well for Schmeichel, we've got a good enough backup right there, ready to go. Don't have to bring anyone in. So that is nice to have, but it's kind of a nice dilemma, I suppose. And like I said, as I was going through the position, there are 3 positions that I have identified as needing an improvement. The first one being the central midfield. Obviously, we've got some okay starters, but more depth. And some of those starters could go onto depth positions like a Mendy or someone. He could be a backup. So yeah, I'm looking to bring in another central midfielder. Right back is another area of concern there, with Denny Simpson being the only real right back at the club, and he's only 74 rated. So obviously not the best, and probably need to improve on that if we want to do any damage in the Champions League. Although he could be one of those hidden gems sort of stuff, like he has been in some other FIFAs. And also the left mid position is an area of concern as well. Albrighton is a decent player, don't get me wrong, he's a decent player, and obviously in real life he's pretty decent. All these players are good in real life. Obviously they won the league last year, but in terms of FIFA wise, it doesn't look the greatest. And yeah, I'd be looking to bring in someone with a little bit more pace. So obviously, as you can tell, there is no gameplay in this first episode. That's just due to the fact that I couldn't even get on the game, although I did have everything kind of planned out anyway, so I thought I'd go through and sort of give my thoughts and that sort of stuff. So yeah, if you did happen to enjoy the video, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. I was going to say if you're new around here, but it is a brand new channel, so yeah, just hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. You can follow me on Twitter at Mr. Luke and YT. My Facebook page is in the description below, and check out my other channel. It's Mr. Luke Sports, and thank you for the people who've come across from that channel as well. So yes, thank you for watching, guys, and I'll see you next time. Bye.